Hello everyone, you're listening to the Lazy Gal podcast with Sejal Ganate, and drum roll please, because today we have a guest on, and Melanie from Hola Let's Chat. So you can find her podcast on all platforms like Apple, Spotify, etc. I'll link her socials down below, so check her out. So Mel, could you tell us a little bit more about you and your podcast stuff?
Hey everyone, I'm Melanie, or you can also call me Mel. Thank you for having me, Sage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm getting all nervous. I don't know why I get nervous and I talk like all the time. But my name is Melanie, like I just said, and I do have my very own podcast. I'll do a little twist on it, so it's more like Spanglish. And I have been doing it since late 2021. So it's been some time now. And honestly, I just love doing it. I love networking. So like, for example, with you and then just with other people and just hearing different people's experiences on whatever it is we're talking about. And besides that, I also do content creation. So I do like lifestyle videos for myself, and then I also do content creation for companies and brands for their own products, for their companies, things like that. And just like in the whole social media marketing, all that jazz, I love it. And yeah, it's a little bit. I love being active. I love working out. I love just keeping a healthy lifestyle the best that I can. And yeah, I just turned 22, so I'm still in my early 20s and just navigating and learning through life. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about our fitness journey and how it changed our lives. For me personally, it improved my confidence and motivation in other parts of my life. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, confidence is a main thing that it's an rewarding side because you get to just feel good about yourself and be like, oh, damn, like, I did this for myself, and just keep working through whatever it is, the goal that you want, because everyone's goals is very, very different. And I think when you can establish, like, your own goals and not, like, be comparing, like, to other people's goals, just because we all have different body types, we all have different, like, needs and wants for our own bodies. So I think number one is like always having that confidence for yourself, like you just said, and knowing like sometimes people can like mess up because they want certain goals like other people, and it's like, no, you got to look at where you're at and figure that out first before trying to figure out so many things that go along with your fitness journey. And I think that is just beautiful because everyone's different and we're all like getting to a certain point.
Yeah, because we've all been where someone else has been, and we all want to be where someone else is also. So it's kind of like this thing about yourself before you really start thinking about other people. So I started working out more like other people during quarantine. Like, of course, Chloe Ting is part of my beginning journey. I know she's like everyone's villain origin story where everyone's like, oh, Chloe Ting, like I did hers back to back. So I just want to know, like, where did you start like working out from? Like,
I mean, I've always been an active person. Ever since I was little, I was actually like in dance. So I did like ballet, tap, jazz, all that for until I was like 13, 14. And then I transitioned. I just did swimming. I did swimming in high school for 4 years, so that kept me active. And then just kind of like dancing was always involved, and I still love to dance, like just freely or like when I go out, things like that. And then 2 years ago, I transitioned more to like weight training, so involving like weights, and I would do like Zumba, so that's still like dancing first. And then my sister who does CrossFit, she's been doing it for so many years. I was like, ooh, like weight training, like weights. I was like, that looks fun. I was like, let me dive into that. So it was like, of course, during the pandemic, and I was like, let me just do it. So I remember they had like Zoom meetings. We would just hop on and like do like a 20, 30-minute workout. And I'd literally be like working out like in my backyard or like in my room, little corner, and just like, moving my body. And I was like, I love this. That's what kept me like busy, honestly, because we were all like inside. So it kept me occupied. And yeah, since then, so it's been like 2 years, a year and a half that I've been like very consistent with it. And I absolutely love it. It just keeps me going. And yeah, besides weight training, I also do yoga. And then recently, I've been incorporating Pilates with a little bit more like strength and core, and just trying to navigate like different types of movements, because like weight training is very intense, very like boom, 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 and then yoga is more calming, more to calm the mind, and then Pilates is just a mixture of that already. So I love it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I started running nowadays, like for the past like month or so, and like before, like I join track last semester, it just wasn't for me. Like I just don't like having to do something when I'm not necessarily a fan of it. Does that make sense? Like running for me hasn't been like a lifelong passion, but I like it. But I didn't want to be like forced to come every day to practices and like in the heat. So I was like, I like to do things on my own time and with everything going on in my life. I don't want to be like a burden on myself, something that I do like. So,
okay, I get that, 'cause
mm-hmm.
I get that.
So I kind of just want to start because I felt like tired and unhappy with my body. Kind of just like in quarantine, it was like I literally went through puberty at the time, and looking back, I was like maybe this wasn't a good mindset back then, but that's really where it stemmed from.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely got a lot of like it depends obviously like where you're at because at a young age you have a lot of like viewpoints of like oh how my body looks or
Mm-hmm.
like so many thoughts that like are building up from the outside and then especially like what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in that point it's ultimately like, doing something that actually like makes you happy and you're trying to like take the look out of that.
And
So
yeah,
what's
I get
your
what you're
other
saying.
question?
Yeah. So I talked.
So past that.
Mm-hmm. So how did you kind of feel before starting like your fitness journey, like during quarantine, that kind of time?
I feel like before, I would say like I've always been like like I mentioned I've always done like
Mm-hmm.
activities and things to move my body, but I feel like I really wanted to just see like what else my body could do, and like
Mm-hmm.
I was mentioning like once I started with weights I was like oh like I just love like this feeling of seeing what more my body could do because I would do like I started with like 5 pounds and
Mm-hmm.
10 pounds, 15 pounds, and then eventually like it got to like an actual bar and you added weights and it was
Mm-hmm.
like okay like this is actually like getting like
Real.
more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like okay like and then just doing movements. So right now will be like cleans, like push and jerks, like just little like things you do with the bar and there's so many other movements.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing like what else you can do, like building up, I think it was really like nice to see that transition to where I'm at now.
I get what you're saying because
And like
mm-hmm. Cause before I would just do like at home cardio workouts, and I realized like as I grew older that like this did nothing to me. I had no system, I had no organization. I was just doing stuff without really a proper plan, and I feel like that's kind of what stopped my growth or just kind of disencouraged me.
yeah, because when you actually have someone like let's say like a friend or an
Mhm.
actual coach like telling you like oh this is a good plan to
Mhm.
start incorporating, you get an idea of like okay I should be doing this on a certain day and
Mhm.
just like seeing where it builds up to.
Yeah,
So I get
and
that.
I get what you're saying because like for me, like I didn't have a trainer even when I joined track. It was kind of just for like a week or two. So it I feel like if I did have a trainer or at least got some professional expertise, it would have helped me a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Because
what?
that way you're not like lost.
Yeah, and yeah, you're like, damn, am I really about to break my back doing this workout right now? Is this hip thrust really worth an ER visit? So what were like your fitness goals when you like started your journey? Like they didn't have to be the same ones that you have now, but would you?
I feel like they've been the same. It's
Mhm.
always been to like lose weight, but
I.
now it's been I've lost weight, but I've gained muscle,
Mhm. So it's like
but
lose
in the
fat
same
and
weight.
gain.
Yes, yeah. So it's kind of a little like like when you're obviously like I look at the scale sometimes, which
Mhm.
honestly I don't really look at the scale as much as I used to. I feel like I used to be like, oh my god, what's my weight? What's my weight? And
Mhm.
then now it's like, oh, that's my weight. I'm like the same, right? And then I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, but I still been when you realize like, oh, you lost fat, but you're
Mhm.
gaining muscle. Obviously incorporates like with your eating habits,
Mhm.
but you realize like the scale doesn't matter as much. But obviously we all have like
We still have that
healthy
voice
like
inside our head. I think most of
yeah,
us start
yeah,
either to gain muscle because we were like anorexic or really skinny, or to lose weight because we're on like the other side. And I feel like that's a really good thing about a fitness journey because most people I've talked to or like read about, watched, even like TikToks about, they're all like, at the end of the day, when I started with this kind of toxic, negative kind of goal, it led into a positive goal such as building muscle or becoming stronger or looking better than just like the initial concept of losing weight and this fitting into a standard because like it's true like it doesn't matter how much weight you lose if you don't really see your worth you're gonna not only end up with body dysmorphia you're just gonna like you're gonna be like that your whole time if you never really learn how to treat yourself with respect first.
you just have like those like thoughts and like
Mm-hmm.
second guess like, am I actually doing something right?
Yeah.
When you like are, if there's like good change
Mm-hmm.
happening, you
Like if
know?
I lose this weight will I gain it back and I kind of feel like that's everyone's fitness journey. Like it always starts with doubt, and I feel like the more we go, I think that's like the beautiful thing about fitness goals and journey is that we find people who've done the same things as us, and we realize that we're not like alone. Like we're not the only ones who are going through this, and they came out fine. So
that's true. Like honestly, sometimes I definitely like from a year ago, my body's like so different, like way stronger than like what it was before. But I still have like moments where I'm like, oh, I feel fat, or I feel like I'm starting to weigh, and then I'm like, oh, like why are you thinking these thoughts? Like you work so hard, and then you're like beating yourself up, like. There's no point, so I really try to like not be negative and not put that out there.
Because I literally like I looked better last week. Like what changed? And obviously nothing can change so drastically in a day. I mean, other than like getting your period or hormones, which is natural. Like I've learned to be like, oh, I have an extra little tummy fat because I'm getting my period soon. It's completely natural, but it's still like, who would I be if I didn't have those thoughts? So back to more of a lighter topic. What are your favorite exercises? Instead of we're going to a kind of
oh my God,
our dark winding path.
No, but I do want to say like you're right about that because as like women, our bodies like constantly changing, and we forget that like we're constantly in a change, and like our emotions are just everything's.
Because we don't realize that we have a 24-cycle hormone compared to men who have a 28-day cycle. So other way around. We have a 28-day cycle. So our body is not the same as it was 24 hours ago. Our body's the same as it was 28 days ago, but we're not going to remember how we felt about our body 28 days ago. So I feel like that's what we always miss when we start a fitness journey, is that we're like, oh, he looks the exact same he did yesterday, but that's just a different body.
That's true.
So going back, what are like your favorite exercises that you have learned to like, maybe you hated at the beginning but now you really love them, or exercises you love?
Why was I thinking burpees?
That's the worst answer.
Wait, that I love?
Yeah, that you love.
Oh, no burpees. I was like, I don't like burpees.
Who does?
I used to not like clean. You know what a clean is?
No.
So you have the bar like in your hip area, and then you lift up your shoulders. People listening, if you know, you know, but you lift up your shoulders and you like bring the bar.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yes. So you like. I did not like them, but I love them now. Those are fun. Well, it's like more like CrossFit. But I love those. What else do I love? I love doing legs.
Yeah.
Like squats. I don't like arms.
Really?
I just like having to carry things. It's the same thing because you're carrying a bar. But I know it's all mine. But
I get what you're saying. I like arms because like I like building muscle in my arms because I've always had bigger arms. So I'm like, why not just build the muscle and make it look better? Because I think like it's hard to lose fat in your arm until you're losing like obviously like your entire body weight. But there's never gonna be like a time in my life where I lose like 40, 50 pounds. So I think like for me, building muscle is a better step than trying to shed like my entire like half my body weight. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. Have you heard about like the hourglass figure?
Yeah.
Like if you don't work out your upper body is, but if you work out both, it gets you like
an hourglass film. Yeah. I just like building. I think it's more masculine. I just like it about me, like having that more masculine energy of like having toned arms, like muscly arms. So I think that's just kind of my preference. And I have nothing against arms. Like I'm just like, okay, like I'm shaking, but I'm going.
You're like a little bit. As long as you incorporate it, you know.
Cause I do like one day of arms, so it's not like I'm just heavy lifting that much.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a balance. You're like, oh, let me do legs or arms or like core work. Core work, I love doing core work too.
It depends on what I'm feeling that day. Cause I don't do a day specifically for core. I do like 3 days running, 1 arm, 1 leg, 1 day yoga, 1 day Pilates.
I feel like we have like similar.
Yeah. When you're talking, I was like, oh wait, I do that too. Wait, I do that one too. And I was like, oh. So I think that's like. I did
Pilates like 2 days ago, and like my stomach is like sore.
I did like legs after a while. I just don't know what it was. I think I just engaged my core more, like running and stuff. Like I was laughing like yesterday. I was like, oh, damn, I can't even laugh anymore. My core hurts that much.
I felt that, yeah. It's like the beauty of it though. Have you heard that soreness is bad for you?
I I think they meant like soreness so you can't walk kind of soreness. Does that make sense? Like you physically can I feel like sore like if you stretch your arm and you feel it, I feel like that's normal. But if you're like if like the day after you still can't lift your arms, I think that's what they're kind of talking about.
That's me some days. I'd be like can't get out of bed.
Oh my god. Yeah. I don't train like I don't have that many weights because I do it at home. I don't go to a gym, so I don't have as many weights. But I think like if I do go to a gym, I think that's where it'll start.
Oh yeah.
So, we'll see. So, how did you track your progress throughout like your fitness journey, kind of thing?
Track? I don't necessarily track right now. Yeah, I used to off topic, but I used to track like what I would eat. Like a specific app. I don't know if you do that.
It's like on and off, but I meant like you take like progress pictures or like how do you mentally think about your progress is kind of what I'm saying.
Oh, I take pictures. Like every other month or every month. Or like when I feel like I'm like, oh, I noticed something different. So I'm like, okay, take a picture, yeah. Because
I was watching this girl on YouTube. Because like when I work out arms and legs, I have like I like watch YouTube videos, and she was like making like video diaries. And I was like, oh, I should like that. That's kind of cool. Like I like talking to myself, as you can tell from the podcast and everything. So I like so like after I finish a workout, cause I work at home, so it's not like embarrassing talking to myself with no one around. So, like, I, like, put my phone on, like, the window bubble. I'm like, okay, so today, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I just tell, like, what I did. I show my gains. And, like, I don't think, like, I'll ever publish it until I, like, until I become, like, the next Victoria's Secret model. So, but I think it's a good way to, like, track your progress and also keep it fun. Instead of saying, like, oh, I didn't, like taking a picture of, like, oh, I don't have any progress. But, like, the progress was that you made it there, in my opinion. Like, sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't want to do this workout. But I'm like, girl, I gotta do this workout. Like, if I don't do it today, I won't do it tomorrow. And I won't do it the day before. And before you know it, I'm, like, sitting on my bed watching TikTok.
No, don't do that, girl.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, I need to get up.
Wait, so what does the video diary consist of? Just you recording, like, snippets?
Yeah, like, not even that. Like, after my workout, like, I just put my phone here. I'm like, hey, so today I hit legs, and I don't, like, you don't have to talk about your progress, really. Like, you can be like, oh, today I ate kind of healthy. Like, just reflect. It's just, a journal entry, kind of. So, you don't have to, like, go that in-depth. Like, it could be, like, 20 seconds to be like, these are my arms, look at these guns, and then end the video. I think it's just, like, a way to kind of get yourself back to where you were, like, mentally. If you're feeling bad about your workout or you're feeling good, just a way to reflect on it, like, right there when you have it in your head.
Okay, I get that. I've never heard of that before.
So I saw a girl on, like, YouTube. I was like, oh, like, maybe I should start. So I have, like, a folder on, like, my Google Photos, so I don't take up storage. Sometimes like, when I go for walks, I'm just like, I'm just talking. I'm just talking.
The usual, you know.
The usual.
Yeah, like, sometimes I have certain people that I watch, like, occasionally on YouTube, where they do, like, day in my life, or, like, a week in my life, or, like, a week reset.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of those.
Yeah. They're all over my page. What were some challenges that you faced during your fitness journey?
I feel definitely some challenges that I'm still going through, definitely, is getting that discipline on myself.
I agree.
And that consistency.
Yeah.
I'd be missing some days.
I literally missed yesterday and today. I'm right there with you. It was my dad's birthday yesterday. And then today I had, like, meetings back to back. And I was like, oh, my God.
You're like, no, I get that because, like, life happens, you know? But I like to say, like, if I miss the gym or, like, I miss doing some form of activity, it's like, I didn't have a good day. Which I still had a good day, but, like, in my mind, I'm like, it wasn't complete. You know?
Like there's something, like, missing that I need to do.
Yeah.
So I might just go for a walk and then consider that, like, today's leg workout.
Exactly. So, yeah, definitely having that, like, consistency. Like, sometimes if I don't, I just kind of feel bad, but I'm doing my best to not be so hard on myself. Just, like, in anything, though. But also, what else? Definitely motivation, which kind of ties into consistency.
Yeah. And, like, the discipline. Just, like, sometimes I, like, go on my Pinterest board. Because I'm like, okay, I need to, like, focus on my last stretch of my run. Or I need to finish this workout. Because, like, with leg and arm, it's not hard for me to finish, like, after I start. It's just the getting out of bed. Kind of, like, getting out of my, getting out of the cycle of just staying there.
Forcing. Like forcing yourself, yeah.
Because my workout time for me is 6:30. But if I miss it, like by 6:57, I just don't want to do anything anymore. Like everything, you know what I'm saying? Like if I don't finish at set time, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna like cry and like go to sleep. Like I don't even. I'm just gonna go.
You're like, I'm done. I'm out.
Or like when I started a run, like I do like guided runs and I press play and like I stretch, I press pause or whatever, and I realize I press play, but you can't go back in the recording, so I missed like 2 minutes of a run. And I'm like, I just stopped the run. I just stop it. I'm like, I can't continue like this. I cannot continue like this.
Yeah, I get that. Like when you're late to certain classes, you're like, oh, you're like by 5 minutes I could have been there. 5 minutes.
And I'm like, you know what? I could have worked out, but like I just didn't, bro. Like I feel like that's like discipline's like really a big part. And like it's getting better. Like the more I do, like I can actually tell like, oh, I have to work out. But before I'd be like, do you? Do you really gotta do it today? So it's
I feel like what's definitely has helped me is like there's honestly like most days I just don't want to go. Like, for example, to the gym. So but I remember hearing like the days you don't want to go, or the days you don't want to do it, is the days you need to go.
The most days.
Like, period.
And like,
so that's what's really helped me.
So like I was thinking about something like do you work out on your period?
I do.
Really? Do you like eat on like your first couple of days?
Well, TMI.
If you don't talk about it, that's fine. If you don't like talk about it.
If you want me to share.
I'm completely open to it, but if it's something that you want to keep personal, then we can skip over it.
No, like I just want to share because it's kind of TMI, but I only have like my period is like 3-4 days. It's kind of like obviously like the first 2 days it's like heavy, but like the third, fourth day it's like it's there, but it's kind of gone.
I get what you're saying.
I don't get pain. I don't get cramps.
Lucky. Like when I get my period, I'm like I can't even stand up. Everything is against me, so I don't work out during my period. And like I work on like the 5th day because my period lasts like 5 to 6 days. So like on the 5th or 6th day, like I go on a walk or something. But like I just lose, like you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like I lost it.
Like your energy?
Yeah, like or just like I just don't have the progress. Like I stopped doing it for like a week. One time I got sick, and then right after I got my period, so I didn't work out for like 2 weeks, I would say. And then when I went, like you don't have motivation. You're just there like, I can't do this. Like it's just gone. And I feel like that's one of the worst parts, especially having your period or just having parts in your life that you can't like predict, or you know it's gonna happen. You just can't do anything to stop it. It's just like what do I do? Because it's just, and I just want to talk about like with someone like how do you, I guess, go about when you lose a couple of days and you like feel like your progress is gone. So
easy on myself. Just like I mentioned earlier, I this is something like I'm constantly working on, just like those inner thoughts that it's like, oh, you didn't go like 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, and then I'm like, damn, like I just feel bad about it. I'm like, okay, tomorrow's a new day. But I feel like that's what I've been doing lately. Like, let's say this Tuesday I didn't go to the gym, and I'm like, oh, you know what?
Change that you've noticed in your life as a result of your fitness journey.
I would say definitely being more aware of my body and like what it can do.
I get what you're saying, because before I'd be like, oh, like I can do that move too. So it's like it increases my confidence a little bit because I'm like, oh, you know what? Like I can do this too. Like I'm a fitness girly. I can lift some weights, or just see myself in like outfits I wasn't comfortable with, even if my body hasn't changed that much. Like even if it looks like the exact same, it's just like I can feel myself loving myself in that outfit more than I did before.
Yeah, I get that. And like I said earlier, like it's constant like. Every day will be different. So you're just like, oh, one day you feel good, another day you just feel like
you feel meh. You're just like, ugh. Like all you want to do is wear like a pair of PJs and a baggy shirt and call it a day.
No, I try to like get ready like every day.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because like recently, especially because in the summer when I'm at home, I don't like dress up because I literally go downstairs and go upstairs. Like that's all I do. But for like school, like I don't know, on my story, like I post like my fit checks and stuff. Like I'm trying to put accessories and like and see. But sometimes like when I come home, I'm like, you know what, I just need to call it a day. I just need to go in bed. I feel like it's really important because people are like, no, like get up, never back down, never give up. But I'm like, if you're tired, you need to rest. Like you don't need to like pep yourself talk. You need to give yourself a break.
Yeah, knowing your limits.
Yeah. So we talked a little about like self-confidence improving since your fitness journey, but has there been anything else that you think really contributed to your self-confidence other than like fitness aspects?
I feel like this is cliche, but like accepting myself more.
No,
I
get
what
you're saying.
Loving myself.
Mhm.
You know, just being aware of like who you are and
Mhm.
the person that you're becoming.
Mhm.
And like accepting like a change is normal.
Yeah, because sometimes I look past the mirror and I'm like, damn, I'm looking kind of fine today. And like I feel like that's needed because like before, like even if I looked the same way, like I just thought about myself differently, and I'm like, oh, like my hair is greasy today. But I'm like, if it's greasy, I can put it up and it'll still look cute. So I think like
Yeah.
accepting where you are and trying not to like sulk over the fact that's where you are.
Yeah, not being tough on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I said that multiple times, but it really like hits different when you accept those little things about you that you may be like second guessing.
Because if other
always,
people are like
hits
tough
different.
on you, like it doesn't really matter as much if you're like until you become tough on yourself. Because like then no one's on your side basically, even yourself, and that's kind of like the worst part of like being bad at something or just not starting well is that you beat yourself up, and so do other people, and in the end you quit because no one wants to be bad at things. So.
True. But we all start somewhere.
Of course. Like I said, like where you are now and where you are with like someone else, like you can't compare because you have no idea that they were actually in your spot. Like even like a year ago, 2 years ago. So like progress isn't linear, and like you can never tell what someone has been through until you've actually like you know what I'm saying, like until you know.
Yeah. Because like sometimes you go through situations and then people go through similar ones or the same or whatever it may be, and you're not gonna know it until you go through it.
Yeah, and then
why, like that's why me personally I don't like to talk about like other people or other people's experiences. Like if I don't know what you went through, like I can't understand what you've gone through in your life, obviously, and you can't understand what I've been through. But there can be like a form of compassion, also.
Empathy, kind of sympathy.
Empathy, right? Like a form of understanding.
Yeah.
Like we may not be 100% eye to eye, but as long as we can see where we're coming from for each other, and depending on certain people or who you talk to, always people will think like the negative of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can relate to that. Like sometimes you talk to people about certain things or you mention something and it's like, why are you doing that? Or what? Or why were you thinking or whatever it may be, right? And then you're just like, why is the response as humans having to be like the worst of it? You know, when you think about it.
And it's just like I talk about something basic and all of a sudden like it gets bashed down and you're like, okay. If you lack a lot of confidence and you have more of a people pleasing mentality, it's easier to let negative things affect you.
Oh, okay. Like let it come through you.
Yeah.
Through your bubble. Okay, I get that.
So I feel like being like working out more, being happier with your body is kind of the first step because as women we always have so much importance placed on our body, and there's so much to remark. So I think loving that part of your body, like that part of yourself first, really does help with your mental health. So to end this kind of on the ending note, what advice would you give to someone who is starting their fitness journey?
Who's starting? I would say that wherever you're maneuvering to, so like fitness can be, as we just mentioned, so many things that people do to take care of themselves in an active way. I think, obviously, not seeking motivation, but just doing it. Just doing it. It's so easier said than done, right? But honestly, just finding something that sticks for you and something that you enjoy and makes you happy, obviously.
All the questions I have planned until you have something else that you want to say or anything?
No, I just would definitely say, like, everyone's fitness journey is very distinct. And ultimately, like, do something that keeps you active and keeps you happy and keep doing it.
That's for sure. Like, this, like, it might not seem like so much now, but progress isn't linear. Like, I look back at a week and I'm like, damn, like, you know what? Like, I've grown. Maybe not physically, but really mentally. And I think that's something that, that's what physical, I mean, it just goes hand in hand. So.
Yeah, I would definitely, to wrap it up, is like, do be hard on yourself because at the end of the day, like, we all are battling inside and out, but like, as long as, you're okay with where you're at and, you're going to eventually get to the goals that you want, that's all that matters.
I agree.
It's not worth it. Really.
For sure. So, just recap, we talked about our fitness journey. This is Melanie from Hola Let's Chat. She can be found on Apple, Spotify, all these platforms. Again, I'll link her socials down below. Do you have anything else to say, Mel, before I end this episode?
No, just thank you for having me, and I had a good time chatting.